So this is a problem. I got no camera. All right, well, hopefully it holds. Rita's been having issues, so hopefully we're live. I don't see myself live on here. Hang on. So far now it's holding. Restream wasn't holding the camera, so we'll see. Am I there? Let me push the button. So hang on, everybody. Hopefully it holds. Okay. Let me get this set up. And it's not holding. So I'm live, but I'm not live. Wow. I don't know we're having issues. So hang in, everybody. Restream's having issues. Live. I don't see myself live on here. Hang on. So far now it's holding. Restream wasn't holding the camera, so we'll see. Well, hopefully it stays. Am I there? Hopefully it holds. Push the button. Let me get this on. So hang on, everybody. Hopefully it holds. Okay. I don't know what's going on today. Been having trouble. Maybe ghosties are acting up. There we go. All right, we're going to quit while we're ahead. We're having issues. We're quitting while we're ahead. Restream's having issues. I don't know what this issue is. Myself live on here. Hang on. So far now it's holding. Okay, hang on. Holding the camera, so we'll see. Well, hopefully it stays. Okay. Hopefully it holds. Push the button. Technical issues with Restream. So hang on, everybody. Hopefully it holds. Let me make sure we're live, okay? I don't know what's going on today. Been having trouble. This is insane. Maybe ghosties are acting up. It was having problems. All right, we're going to quit while we're ahead. We're having issues. All right, let me switch up and get TikTok going. Yeah, let me get TikTok up. It told me it couldn't use my camera, and now it's using the camera over there. All right, let me get TikTok up. And we'll get going. Device camera. I got no light here, Harley. My two overhead lights that go into the ceiling up there are going out. Well, one's out, the other one's going out, and I can't get up there. That's craziness. It's just too tall. Okay, so let's see if I can do this. Uncle Eddy's. Uncle. Why do I keep saying it's Uncle? I don't know why. So hopefully it holds for next hour or so. Okay, that should do it there. It's weird. It took forever. And then it told me, is the echo gone now? Echo should be gone. That's because I had my phone on over here to make sure everything was working over there. So you should be fine. Live goal. Let me get a live goal going for TikTok. Give me a second. I'll go for chocolate sundaes. Why not? So my lighting is different today. You can't really notice it, which is good. Is there still an echo? There shouldn't be an echo. There shouldn't be an echo. Is there still an echo? The only reason why there was is because I had this on. Okay, here we go. TikTok. 2, 1. Okay, now we're on TikTok. I almost was going to switch phones and run you guys over on my main TikTok phone, but okay. Okay, let me switch this camera. All right, everybody. Well, it's been an interesting day so far. Things not working as they should, and technical. So yesterday we got pretty far on this. Now tomorrow, my eye appointment is 11:30, so I may be back in time to do this tomorrow. I don't know, but I might be able to be back in time tomorrow. But I'll show you what we've done so far. Can you guys hear me all right over there? Hey, everybody, welcome. Let's continue our build. Can you guys hear me all right over there? Debbie, can you hear me all right? Okay, anyway. So here's where we left off. I'll show you the parts, and then we'll bring up the work table to work off of for this. So we did this yesterday. See how we got that? It's a mini Winnie, right? This made our mini Winnie. Yeah, if I get in close, you can see where I put rust on the hubcaps. Because after all, it's Cousin Eddy's vehicle. So let me get my work table. So what we're going to do is, I can see what I'm doing here. We're going to start adding rust, like on the rest of the bottom here. But in the meantime, let's get a toothpick. Let's outline the doors and windows with a toothpick. And that's what we're going to do today. And then we'll start adding rust on this thing. Okay? So let me grab the work surface. It's weird. I've got one light went out, one bulb went out up there. It's like an 8-foot ceiling in here. And now the other bulb is flashing, and I had to turn it off and everything. So this is the first time I'm ever working purely with my staging lights. And it's not that bad. I mean, it looks the same as what I have done. The only thing I'm going to have trouble with tonight is seeing what I'm doing with the cards and people's names on the thing. All right. Everybody hear me okay? You guys okay over on TikTok? Everybody good on TikTok? Everybody good over there? Okay. So that's where we were yesterday. I might add a little more red to the rust because we want it to look more like rusted. I mean, we're talking Cousin Eddy here. So it's meticulous work going down today. Anything that has a window like this, see the windows, we're going to go ahead and do the outline on those with just black and toothpicks. So we can get the windows done. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to start putting rust. Can you hear me all right, Pamela? Good to see you. Good to see everybody over here. TikTok, I'm going for some likes. Can you double tap that screen? I also have a goal of collecting 6 chocolate sundaes. Can you help me out with that today? But we are putting together, even though they don't have a cookie per se for Cousin Eddy's trailer. I was at Safeway, found this on sale, thought it was cool. Since we were doing the Christmas vacation house anyway, we would make our own Cousin Eddy trailer. Okay, so let me grab the black paint because we're going to be doing the real tiny meticulous stuff today. And again, the room is partial. Well, it's not partially lit because thank God for these 2 lights. You can't even tell the difference that there's no light up above. If anything, my face looks a little lighter, where it doesn't have like a real nice skin tone because I don't have that warm light up there. But it doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad. So again, I may be able to do tomorrow. We'll see because I have my appointment. And guys, pray for me tomorrow because this is important, this appointment. And I got to get contacts. My glasses are really so bad. I need contacts. And I was told I would be able to get them. So we'll see. Tomorrow, maybe get some temporaries. But just got to play it by ear. Okay, so what I'm going to do real quick is I need another lid because we're going to put the black in a lid so I can use it. Getting into these cord drinks was great because you know why? These lids make excellent paint holders for doing this work. So we're going to use a toothpick and go on in. And we're going to outline the windows and all that. Or especially the door, because it's important for the door. It's especially important for that door so I can see where the door is, on both sides. And then we'll start adding rust to the other parts of Cousin Eddy's vehicle. I took a great picture of my dog. I'll be posting. Last night, I couldn't sleep last night. And she wanted to sleep. And so I got this picture of her. She was staring at me for like 5 hours straight last night. It's a really cute photo. So hopefully my hand doesn't shake too much when I do this. So we're going to do the doorway. And I have, from the Lego Christmas tree, I have some wreaths. So I could actually put a wreath on here. Because I have several wreaths from that Lego Christmas tree I built, so we can use the wreaths. So here we go. We're just going to start lining this up, and I'll show you as I go. Now, if I had my regular brushes, which, oh, you know what I didn't bring you guys? Hang on, I got to get the brushes. That reminds me. If I had my regular acrylic brushes and the ones I use for oil painting and stuff, I have very fine tip brushes, but I don't with this because, you know, I'll be right back. I forgot the brushes. My bad. Look for ghosties. All right. So again, the lining in here isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be without having that overhead. The only issue, like for tonight's show, is that we're back. The only issue, like for tonight's show, is that I can't really see the cards on top of here, so that's going to be an issue. You know, people's names. So I'll have to work that out tonight. Okay, so here we go. Do some outline on Cousin Eddy. It's good to see you all. Welcome, everybody. I got 4 over there and 3 over here. There'll be more. How you feeling, Pamela? Okay, so we're good. Okay. Yeah, the reason why there was an echo is because I want to make sure I'm live over there, so I'll put it on my Android phone that I do TikTok on, so I can hear myself and all that stuff. So that's why I did that. Because the camera, for some reason, was not working over there. I can't say what websites there are over there. You guys know who you are, where you're broadcasting from. Okay, so let's do this. Very meticulous work. Like I said, if my hands don't shake, it'll be a miracle, but I'll see if we can get this done and get this door pretty well done. And the outline of the door. I'm not too worried about the windows because where the windows are, there's no rust. There's the rust that sits on the door and sits like towards the front bumper and all this. And it doesn't have to be perfect, you know. It doesn't have to be exactly like the movie trailer, you know what I mean? It just has to be rust. Because like I said, this is not Cousin Eddy's actual trailer. Hi, Carl, what's up? Welcome everybody over on TikTok. Call me Mama. That's my mama's my mama. Your mama's your mama. Never mind. So I'm going in and doing this inch by inch. I wish I could use my acrylic brushes, but I don't want to ruin them. So that's why I made a point to make them off limits. So use a couple chocolate sundaes, you guys. I know it's asking a lot. I wish I had a thin enough brush, but we'll do the best I can. And my glasses, don't get me started. Don't get me started on the glasses. There we go. Teeny tiny. We are going to repaint the blue. In a way, this is stupid to do because we need to repaint the blue. All right, you know what? Let's do the blue first. Then I can cover it because if I repaint, it's going to paint over what I'm working on right now. I don't want to mess that up. Change my mind. Change the plan. Got to repaint the blue. Make sure we have enough blue on there. There's the rust. There is more rust. Yeah, I think that's what we need to do. Paint that blue. There's a blue over there. So let's do some blue work on it here because I think we need another coat of blue. And then we'll do it tonight. So for that part. And then we can go ahead and paint that, put the black in. Change my mind. That's blue. Ooh, there's none in there. Okay, we're going to have to make some blue. Okay. Hopefully I can match the color. That's the other question. We do have blue here, so it makes my life easier. Originally, I was going to mix yellow and green to do the blue, but luckily, I had some blue. But since it's an older RV, you don't want the blue to be really, super blue, blue, blue. You want it to be a lighter blue. Whoa, lost my grip. Okay, let me grab some white frosting. And then we'll go ahead and paint for one more coat of that. Because I think the white's pretty well on there at this point. So, there's this. How's everybody's day going? I ended up going down a Google, rabbit hole last night. TikTok just waved me on something. I don't know what they're talking about. Just got a message from TikTok came flying across. It's been a week. This TikTok outage has been insane. Really insane. It was funny because when it went down, I mean, you hear stories about, oh, we're popular today too. This is popular. Last night wasn't. Whatever works. You hear horror stories from content creators that are doing sales and stuff at permanent bans. And what happens with a permanent ban is if there's any money that's due you from TikTok, they will shut everything down and you don't access your money. I don't know if TikTok keeps it or how it works, but they freeze you out of your money, out of your funds. Good, there we go, perfect. And initially, because I'm being heavily filtered all the time because we're doing psychic stuff, so people can't even get questions in on my site ever. When we're doing a live, nobody can ask questions because the questions don't go through. So normally, what I do procedure-wise is I'll have them send me a message afterwards so I can answer their questions. I get a haircut this week too. When you get a haircut, yeah, haircut and a dye job. Out the filter, I look like my dad. TikTok me, real me. TikTok me, real me. So there's horror stories about that. And I have been banned before. I've had 7-day bans on TikTok for book material that I've read, But we're gonna do this one first. I'm gonna add a little more red too on that rust. So when I initially went in to check my balance for the week, for Sunday, because Sunday is when the week ends for us, and it said 0. Start collecting coins. And I went to go into my profile of my account, and it was gone. And I thought, oh my God, it finally happened. I got a permanent ban. And then it kept popping back on. You would go in the next time, and the balance would be there. Hi, Cindy. How you feeling today? And then the balance would be there, and then you go back in, the balance would be done. So TikTok was having, it went down. But what was weird is that unlike when they did the shutdown for the blackout, it didn't act like that because it took forever to come back. Really come back from the blackout. But this time they were able to at least put a lot of the basic features back on. But it's still weird. It's a little bluer than I'd like to be, but we're going to go with it. We're just going to go with it. But a lot of my videos are sitting at 0, the ones that I've made for my daily, like the daily teasers for this that you guys get on the other network and stuff like that. I do that for TikTok. And they're sitting at 0 views, like yesterday. People were going in and liking them and commenting, but it wasn't counting the views. So there's still a lot of quirkiness going on. The other thing that happened yesterday too was that when I got off this show, and it wasn't unexpected because it's happened before, so I kind of expected it. When I got off this show yesterday, it didn't give me any stat numbers. How many people came through and things like that. It didn't give me any of that yesterday. And then last night I made sure I went into because there's a window I can go into here. I can swipe to the left, and I can go in and I can see who's coming through. How many shares we've had and all that, how many new followers. And I had like 750 people come through last night. But when I went to when I went to the end page last night, it didn't show my followers. It didn't show how many people came through. It only showed it didn't show the money either, but it only showed my followers and my likes last night. That's all I got. Because I keep records of all this stuff, so I can judge, if we're dipping or not, as far as what we have going on TikTok. I do my own, I watch my own analytics. So it's an interesting ride, and finally late last night, the views started to show on my separate videos. So hopefully that's a good sign. Best headline I saw, though, the last couple days. Out of all the headlines that were out there about what went wrong with TikTok, best headline I saw was U.S. TikTok is broken. U.S. has TikTok in its hands for 4 whole days, and then it breaks. So I just thought that was hilarious. You got to laugh in a situation. You got to laugh. I know there's a lot of content creators that aren't putting videos out even today because they're not, scoring the views that they should get. Well, that looks nice. I like that. Hope I can reproduce that color. That's really nice. I'll show you guys. So there's a lot of guys that aren't putting out videos at all until for at least 3 or 4 days till everything settles down. But see, there like I'm on multiple platforms too. I mean, I could go over to the other platform and advertise for this and which I do anyway in my night show. But not a lot of people over on the other platforms have TikTok. So it's really ridiculous for me to waste my time in that. Like, well, this is different, but it's ridiculous for me to waste my time to tease, TikTok stuff over there. Those 2 networks. We'll call them the opposing networks. All right, this is a nice blue. I like the way it turned out. I hope I can reproduce it for the other side now. Probably can't, so we'll find out. Murphy's Law says I won't be able to reproduce this. It turned out nice and blue. I'll show you guys. So I'm going to go back in, put some more in here for the other one. There we go. Because we want to be down about this low, even with the center window. Yeah, I had my own old RV for a while. I know what it's like having an old RV. Not quite as bad as towards the end it was. Because, it was fine when my mom and dad were functional and alive and we go out picnics and whatever, fishing, stuff like that. But when they both got sick, we couldn't go out. So I mean, the RV sat in the driveway and turned into Cousin Eddy's RV, essentially. It's sad because I really had hope that I could take it ghost hunting. Nancy and I had talked about maybe taking it on a tour around the U.S. and going ghost hunting and stuff, but it's just 2 special ghost hunts. And who knows? Maybe I'll get lucky. I do have an SUV tent coming. I was able to get a deal. I was able to get a sponsor for an SUV tent, so we'll see. I'm hoping maybe I can upgrade that to a hot tent, so I can at least be warm. But you're not going to see me camping inside the tent. You're not going to see me sleeping, on the floor or nothing like that because my back's so bad. So I will be sleeping in my car. We'll have the cooking supplies and everything in the tent, but I'll be sleeping in my car. Okay, so here we go. This turned out really nice. I like this color. I'm going to try and reproduce it now. Good luck with that. But that did turn out quite nice, so I'll show you. Because if you look at the photo, it is blue on top. So, see how nice and blue now? I like that. Just blue enough to be like Cousin Eddy. See, there it is there. When I saw this initially, when I bought it, I thought, oh, it's a teardrop. A teardrop camper. But it's not because it's got, it kind of reminds me of Even though it looks like a teardrop, it reminds me of a Volkswagen pop-up camper. That's what it reminds me of. All right, let me try and make some more blue and duplicate it. Good luck with that. I can't wait to start doing the rust, though. That's what I want to do. And like I said, not to be insulting to anybody, but I had a friend who every year would make gingerbread houses. But it wasn't like you think they would be. My friend made what they call trailer trash gingerbread houses. And I'm not trying to insult anybody here on TikTok or anywhere else, but they were cute when they got done. Gingerbread cars out, out in the yard and things like that. So like I said, please don't take that the wrong way. You know what? We didn't do our magic, did we? To have a good thing. Got my Harry Potter wand, right? Are we ready? Bibbidi, bobbidi, boo! All right. Put good juju on the lives. My friend took this and hit it because I was running around my house the first day I got it. Being me. Running around with the dog, bibbidi, bobbidi, boo. The cats, and all this. My friend, right in her face. Bibbidi, bobbidi, boo. Next thing I know, I couldn't find it for a week. Because it was taken care of. Then I grew up. Not. So if everything works out tomorrow, I'll have contacts, temporary contacts, so I get my regular ones. But I'm only going to wear them like when I'm driving and for the show. And I got to make them last. I'll be lucky with my prescription if I'm able to get like 2 packs of contacts to start. And the temporary ones are always a lot thinner than the actual contacts. So hopefully, I'll get some. I've been told by 2 different eye doctors that yes, you can get them for your prescription. So hopefully it works out because I really, I'm blind. I'm blind. I'm not going to let them dilate because these glasses are blurry anyway, and I see about maybe 30 feet in front of me, and then it starts to blur out. So if they were to dilate my eyes, it would get very ugly quickly. You know what I mean? I got to be able to get home. So I didn't let the last eye doctor dilate either because of that. Plus the glasses are broken like 3 times here, which isn't helping the situation. And I don't want to put one of those things that clicks in on top of it because I'm afraid to snap where I've super glued the glasses. So, okay. So let me get this painted and then we'll add a little more to, hopefully it's the right color. Yeah, I think, we got it. We got this. We got this color? Hope I matched it. Ooh, close enough. Yeah, so I just hope that they haven't lied to me just to get me out there and spend my money, to get my eyes examined because I really need to see. I had to contact my assemblyman. I'm waiting on word from him because he's dealing with the other situation that I have where a certain entity will not pay for my glasses like they're supposed to, my coverage. So that's where that's at. So hopefully the contacts, everything goes well. Then it's a matter of getting a year supply of contacts and just going for it. So tomorrow night you just might see me when I go live with gold with the gold reading glasses on. If I get a temporary pair, or I may not do it at all. And just use them for driving and stuff. As it is, because I have to wait on my because even if I get temporaries tomorrow, they're not going to be for my stigmatism. So I'm going to have to not take the driving test. I mean, the eye test at DMV, I'm going to have to let that expire until I get my contacts in. My regular contacts with the right prescription. Because the temporaries for me, it's hard because of my my stigmatism. But that's why they made Uber. That's why different stores have food delivery and things like that. That's why they made Uber. Because for medical appointments, like I'm going to have a echo on my heart this month, and for medical appointments, my coverage pays for Uber. So I don't have to worry about that if I don't have a license. Okay, let's get this done. I hate to have to make more blue paint. Don't make me make more. A lot of people are on me about why I'm still doing holiday stuff. I like the holidays. I don't care what anybody says. I'm a holiday person. I'm one of those people that goes into a funk. After Christmas is over, I go into like a major funk for like a month. And I like the holidays so much. I get post-holiday depression. So by doing this, I won't get post-holiday depression this year. Okay, so let me look at this, see if I have to add a little more. A little more by the window, but you can see where it's nice and blue. It was globbed up right there. See where it's nice and blue now? See? So we have a nice and blue one. Like Cousin Eddy. I'm going to make a little bit more because I need to cover that spot. But that's the last blue we're going to put on is this. See, nice, huh? Look, they almost matched. I almost got the colors to match. Darn close. They're darn cute. And it's drying already, which is good. So hopefully we can do other stuff to it. Do a little bit more. Where'd it go? So let's add a little more rust on here. At least on the tires. I'll put some red on there to just throw a little bit more red for the hubcaps. And I'll probably start outlining the bottom part of the door is what I'll do while this dries. Drop on it, and there we go. I don't need a lot of this, just enough. There we go. Each one of these gets its own baggie in the end so that I can store it. I don't know, that might be awfully light for what we're doing. Let's see. Compare and, nope, okay. Compare and contrast, right? All right. It's just weird because, I mean, it's really dark in here right now. It's going to be dark now from here on in for a while until I get my friend over to do it or get my neighbor will come do it for me and put the bulbs in. If he's home, he'll do it for me. It's right in the middle of the room, too. It's not like there's furniture there that you can grip on. So unless you have a really good ladder to go up, you know, I have a couple of step stools. Once you get to the top, it's like there's nothing to hold on to. So there's no way in heck I'm getting up there. And this is day 5, actually day 6, of me going veggie. Of me going vegan. So I'm doing good. Back on my vegan diet. Get my weight down, get my health back. I don't like being sick. Okay, so there we have Cousin Eddy right there, Cousin Eddy's trailer. Nicely painted up. Except at the top there, yeah, I saw that. Somebody's going to point it out. I know you are. It's all about prepping this to put, well, we'll say garbage. It's all about prepping it to garbage it up. There we go. I should probably do the edge. See, there it is there. So I'm going to do the edge now if I can on here. I will have my Amazon wish list up this week. I've been slow doing it. Definitely getting a haircut this week. And taking care of the color. Drives me. I'm like my mother. I have to have dark hair. Oh, darkened hair. Got that from Mom. Actually, this is a white strip. So what's going to happen? I shouldn't have done this because in the actual photo, there's a white strip across the top up here. So we'll probably end up doing that. I messed up, but that's all right. We'll fix it. Everything is fixable. I'm going to leave the other one alone because there should be a white strip up there. All right, that's done. So let me grab the red. We're going to work on the rust a little bit. And then we'll start doing what I was going to do, only I'll do it on the lower part of the door so it allows the blue to dry. Hi, Robin. Good to see you. Yeah, it's going to be kind of fun. Okay, so, all right, let me get the red paint. Or the red, you know what I mean. Let me get the red out. Red paint. I'm losing my mind. Might even use the red for tail lights and stuff. We'll see. That is not wet anymore. Okay, just lift it out of there. Just lift that out. Dump. Now we can do it. Get the red out. Kind of highlight the rest a little more. We don't want it to look like charcoal briquettes. I mean, you know. I want to drink your blood. Just kidding. All right, let me get my favorite brush. This guy here. The one that pops off, there's the one that pops off the end, is the one I prefer. This guy. Okay. But you'll see me use the flashlight more in here because if I had that overhead light, I'd see a lot more on the table, but I don't. So I'm going to just do yeah, that's better. I'm going to do a light coat of red across there. After all, it is rusty. Rusty crusty. And I'll show you guys. And then we'll start doing it. We'll start lining that. I want it to stand out more than rust. That's why I'm doing this. Even in frosting, black is an all-encompassing color. And this is brown pretty much. But when you start to put the red and stuff on here, the brown does swallow it up, you know. And that's normal for any paint. It's for any painting project that you're doing. If you're doing black or brown, it's going to swallow it up. So we'll put some happy bushes on. I'm kidding. With some happy trees. I'll probably go another half hour. I have some stuff I got to fill out, paperwork and stuff. So things to do, people to see. Okay, now you can see the rust more, I think, on here, which is what I wanted. See, that's almost dry. That blue. That's how warm this room gets. This room gets really warm. All right, let me see what I got. I can't tell what I have until I use this. Go ahead. Thank you for following. Oh, yeah, we got rust. Oh, someone's at my door. There's no one there. She can hear the neighbors across. If the neighbor flushes his toilet, the dog can hear it. If the neighbor next door across the street were to flush his toilet, that dog can hear it. Bertha big ears. So now you can see the rust better. See the rust? Now it looks like rust. See it? We got rust in there. So we made Rusty. See, now it looks like rust. So we'll let that dry, and then I'm going to go ahead and we're going to add to the rust on the other one. There we go on that one. So at least it looks like rust now. And this kind of texture thing I learned from doing ceramic painting and stuff. The texture coating. And I also noticed the stagecraft. I mean, you'd be surprised what I fixed in my house because I learned to build French doors and walls and stuff in college. Yeah, it's getting there. So we want to get the rust on the hubcaps. There's a guy back east that does Christmas lampoon vacation in his front yard every year for Halloween, and then he keeps it for Christmas. He's even got Cousin Eddy putting the sewage from the RV down the sewer. Okay, I think we're good on that one. This one could use a little more. So we now have rusty hubcaps. So like I said, tomorrow we shall see how it all works out. I may not be in good humor tomorrow. We don't know. They could say I can't get contacted. I'll really be bad humor. It depends on my humor levels tomorrow. Okay. We now have rusty hubcaps. There we go. So here's the rusty hubcaps for this one. See it? We now have rusty hubcaps. Rusty hubcaps. See? Okay. So let's start doing let's go back to my original plan today. That's the red. See, everything goes in a sealed baggie. For storage. If it doesn't have a cap on it, it goes in sealed. It goes in the baggie. Okay. And you come over here because you are the blue. You are the blue one. You get your own baggie. And that'll dry. It won't be so red when it dries. So it will look like rust. Like, here's this one. It's almost dried now, where I put the rust on. So you can see how it's going to take on more of a rusted color. Because that's how it's going to dry. See it? So it's going to look more like rust. All right, let me find the black again since I had it out here and I moved it. Where did I put you? Nope, you're red. I think that's the brown. That would be the black. Okay, and we're going back in. We'll work the bottom part of the door without touching. Yeah, right. Without touching the tires. There we go. And this is what's going to take the time, is doing the outlines on the doors and the windows on this thing. There we go. And try to keep them as straight as possible because my hands are not steady anymore like they used to be. But my dog was really infuriated with me last night because I wouldn't go to sleep. I couldn't sleep last night. See, it's already going crooked. See, that's how my life is. Naturally, it's going crooked. In fact, it got to the point where she even got up and went elsewhere, not even in her crate to sleep, just to get away from me because I went to sleep. So I finally got to sleep around 7 this morning. Woke up around 11:15. Tonight I got to make sure I sleep. I need a good night's sleep before I do my eye test. So. And like with this, if all else fails, I could always add some more white paint around where I mess it up, you know? Then I'll take a toothpick. If I'm out of the lines, I'll take a toothpick and move this stuff around. There we go. That's where the step should be. I can barely see the line. That's not what I wanted. I wanted to be able to see the lines on here to do this. So I'm guessing on this door right now. On that one side. Hopefully I can keep a straight line. As straight as possible. Excuse me while I get down in here so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. See, there's even close-up work your glasses can't do. I wish I could strap my magnifying light on here, but I can't. The way the table's designed, it doesn't have the red lip on the bottom to connect it because I have a real nice one. Remember the original movie when they were visiting Cousin Eddy and they were barbecuing and what's that? It wasn't Audrey. Audrey was his daughter, but what's the name of the Eddie's daughter? And they go to bring some Kool-Aid out, and Clark says, "Here, let me help you stir that." And she pushes him away. She puts her dirty hand in there and does this. Oh yeah, and then because Helen, the wife, or Ellen, right, realizes that they don't have Eddie doesn't have a lot of money, so when she brings Clark his burger, there's no meat in there. It's just bread. Love those movies. No matter what you think of Chevy Chase, with what just happened with him, those movies are they stand the test of time. No matter what you think, for the time they were made, and at their height, they were hilarious. The Vegas one is really funny. The Christmas one is funny. I mean, there's some stunts in it that are funny, like when the squirrel gets loose and the dog's chasing the squirrel, and Clark asks Eddie for help. He says, "I don't know what to." He says, Eddie, you see these things?" And Eddie says, "No, I'm cutting back on my whatever saturated fats or whatever he's cutting back on, so he won't eat squirrels anymore." But the dog wreaks havoc. That Rottweiler, whatever the hell that dog is. Okay, so I'm going to come around with this. It's not looking too bad considering. Good to see everybody. Yeah, I would have been on time today with this too. I was right here at 150, and that's when everything started to go wrong with the audio and everything. And then I had to sit there and play with Restream to get it working. I think my iPhone was starting to finally, implode. I've got an iPhone 11 that I did everything with, and I never changed the battery in it, so it's bulging. It's got a bulging battery, and I think it's just getting to the point where it's tired. When I first started doing TikTok, the first 7 months on TikTok, I used the iPhone, and finally got an Android, which is okay. I want this is like the entry level Android. I would rather have an A30, at least an A30. But I'm debating. I'm due for an upgrade, so there's a big. I'm debating right now between the iPhone 17 and the Android. And the only thing that sells me on the Android is that, again, my eyes, right? So I can see everything, except now I don't have my glasses on. But I can see everything really well on my Android phone. And my iPhone's really tiny. Hang on, I'll read your thing. Hang on. Let me put my glasses on. Let me read that. Let me put my eyeballs on. Okay, what we got? The Family Truckster. Oh, yeah. Hey, think about this. Dad loved Aunt Edna, okay? Not saying bad things of the dead. We had an Aunt Edna in our family. I'm not saying any more about it. My sister over here knows what I'm talking about. Dad loved it. Dad always loved the thing with Aunt Edna because it reminded him of, you know what I'm talking about. But we had our own Aunt Edna in this family. Boy, did we have an Aunt Edna. And the Family Truckster. Or when they go into Chicago and he pulls out there and they're in that bad area of Chicago and he goes, notice all this polite kids, and the gun goes off and he goes, roll up. We had it and trust me. And the worm farm. That's why, like I said, no matter how you feel about Chevy Chase now and what went down, with him, you got to go back and look at these movies. It was from when he was really popular. So I mean, they're classic movies. So I mean, no matter what the man has done now, it's hard to hold him to what he's done now. I mean, because these movies are so funny. And look at Christy Brinkley. Does Christy Brinkley look old to you? It's like she never aged, man. Christy Brinkley never aged. She still looks like that. What was that movie with Goldie Hawn and Roseanne Barr? Was it Roseanne Barr? Goldie Hawn and Roseanne Barr? When Bruce Willis, when he's a mortician to the stars, or a face guy to the stars, or whatever he is, and they find that potion, and they go to that party, and Elvis is there, and all these people are there, and so they have that potion stuff to keep him young, and poor Bruce Willis, because I can't remember if it was Roseanne Barr and Goldie Hawn, or who was Goldie Hawn, whoever else it was, and he's stuck with both the ex-wives. Oh, Meryl Streep, that's who it is. Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn. and he's stuck having to take care of them after, into their old age. They have to put that stuff in their that potion and everything. He has to make them look good all the time. Well, that's Christy Brinkley. You look at Christy Brinkley. It's like she got a hold of some of that stuff. The family truckster. Arctic, was it Arctic Green? Is that the color was supposed to be? Arctic Green. But Vegas is good, especially when they're out barbecuing the burgers on the rocks that have radiation. Because Eddie got that house in the radiation test zone. Did you know there was a Cousin Eddy movie that bombed? There was actually a Cousin Eddy movie that came out. And it was Cousin Eddy goes on vacation. He was on a cruise. And they fall off. Somebody, I don't know if the ship sinks, but they fall off the ship or something. And Cousin Eddy has to survive on a deserted island. So, I think it was straight to video. But it was all about Cousin Eddy. Okay, so this door is outlined right now. Pretty much the best I can do with my shaky hands. And if it's a little cuckoo, it's fine because after all, it's Cousin Eddy's. There we go. After all, it's Cousin Eddy's vehicle, so I'll show you the outline. Put my eyeballs back in. Oh, well, there you all are. But yeah, and we had an aunt and who I had a lot of contact with. It's just like, and then my dad used to make fun like that because he knew. But then he saw the vacation, he knew who that was in the family. And the kids, dead person breathed on me. Oh my! I did not get to see this movie for Christmas. I was not feeling really good this season, and I could have had it for free on Disney Channel and never watched it this year. Okay, so there's the outline of the door that I have. Again, I have shaky hands, but we're lucky we got this far, right? So there's the outline on that door. So we got the outline. And I can throw the parts that are really weird. I can throw some rust on. See? And there's a heart here, so I'm going to figure out whether we're going to put a heart there or cover it up with something else. Oh, I know what I could do. Like I said, I have some Lego from Anna got me those Lego Christmas trees, and I have several smaller Christmas trees we can put on this thing. So I'll do the other door now. What time is it? I don't watch my time. Okay. So there you go. So it's coming along. Let's put the doorknob in. Should we put the doorknob in? Why the heck not? Let's just install the doorknob. Timeless classic. The other one that's real fun is Richard Pryor in Moving. when he has to uproot his family to move cross country. That's a real good one too. But these movies, fantastic movies. And the Last Vacation movie, you got to give it an A for effort. It was okay. Christina Applegate did a great job, but just not the same. Didn't have the same feel. Yeah, I never got a doorknob. On some RVs, it's a regular door, and on some it's a regular doorknob. On some RVs, the older RVs, it's a pull-down door, or it's a pull-down knob. Like they have for kitchens. It's one of these things that goes down like this. So there we go. Now we got a doorknob. See, we got the doorknob. So we'll do the other side now. And that might be a window. That could be a window right there. I'm trying to remember how ours was. If we had a window there or not. With the RV or something that we had. That I had. No window. Yeah, there's a heart there, but they even put a wreath on this thing. Oh, there's parts for a wreath. Oh, that works. See, if you look at this, there's parts for a wreath. So we're going to go. See, when you look at that, they have the stuff for a wreath on there. Oh, that'll work. Okay. Check this out, you guys. For you guys that don't see my show on TikTok at night, I got to watch my props. Here's my props. Here's one prop. Yeehaw! And then we have the other prop for the trolls. You guys want to see the other prop? What's the other prop for the trolls? This is when the trolls come in and tell me that what I'm doing is a sinful thing, okay? This is how I deal with the trolls. There we go. Look at it on there. Never get it on right. There we go. This is how I deal with the trolls that come in and tell me that what I do by reading tarot is sinful. See that? I don't talk to them. I simply put these on and I just say, next. So that's what we do. That's how we do with the trolls. But the other one was an actual prop for the show. I can tell you guys this, for the people that aren't on TikTok, and for you guys that might be new on TikTok, coming in to see me. We do these things called hats and mustaches for gifts. And most content creators will go, yeehaw, and that's the extent of it. Well, I took it a couple steps further. Throw the hat on, and I'll sing. After the yeehaw, I will sing a old-timey country song. Well, thank you. I will sing an old-timey country song. I even yodel. I do cattle call. And stuff like that. We had low battery. Oh, if all those things happen, hang on, guys. We're about to lose the phone. What in the hell is going on today? Why is it low battery? Do we not have power going on the phone? Okay, we got issues going on. What the heck? Why don't we have power coming in here? Oh, this thing, we're having all kinds of problems today, you guys. Hang on. What is going on here? We shouldn't have low battery. Everything should be fine. I'm going to lose you guys on Facebook. I don't know why. This is working. This is working. Okay, everything's working. There shouldn't be low battery. What in the hell is going on? Well, I'm about to lose you guys on Facebook and YouTube, which really bites. For some reason, the battery didn't hold today. For some reason, I don't know why. It should be holding. It should have been on charge unless something's wrong with my cable. Dang nabbit. This phone's been a major problem all day. What is going on? So I'm probably going to lose you guys. Wow, I've got no charge at all on this phone. Well, I was going to stop at 3:30 anyway. So we'll continue maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after. I'm going to go ahead and close off of here and figure out why it's low battery. It shouldn't be low battery. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. I know why. Hang on. Wrong port. Did I lose you? Hang on. Great. I just twisted you. I didn't mean to. Okay, hang on, you guys. I think I know why. Hang on. So that thing must have come out. Hang on. Hang on, man. Had nothing but issues today. No, that's in. So that doesn't make sense. That makes no sense at all. That should have been in. So I don't know what's going on. And I shouldn't have low battery. Unless that popped out. No, that didn't pop out either, did it? Oh, maybe it did. Maybe that's what the issue is. Hang on, guys. That might be the issue. That it was popped out of the wall. Yeah, you know what? It was popped out of the wall. Because my Android is low too. Okay, anyway, I'm going to put the brakes on everything. And I was going to stop at 3:30 anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and put the brakes on. That's what happened. It wasn't in the wall all the way. Because this phone over here is getting low too. If anything else could go wrong today, you know. All right, so tomorrow, hopefully, we'll be back to do some more work on this at 2:30 or 2 o'clock, you know. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to stop because it's low battery. This phone is about to die. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, yeah, check that out. If you have a TikTok account, come on in at 6:45 p.m. tonight, Pacific, and I'll be doing my other show. This has been one of those days of one screw up after another.